All right, Rob Pincus here from Personal Defense Network, and this is the training tour update, the third one for 2014's training tour, and I am in Alexandria, Virginia. And that means that just across the water over there behind the tour truck is our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And while I'm visiting Alexandria, meeting with some friends and some business associates, I am literally like one wrong turn away from obviously being a test case. There's a lot of gear inside of the truck that is completely legal here in Virginia, but if I were to cross over into Washington, D.C., if I were to try to spend the night there at any of the great hotels or have dinner at any of the great restaurants, I obviously would be in a lot of trouble. And that's unfortunate. And if you take a look at my blog, you'll see that I am about ready to do the Run the Gauntlet project all the way up into New England, up to train in New Hampshire. And what I've got is a situation where we cannot transport a lot of the things that are inside of the truck very easily through several of the states in the mid-Atlantic and northern region. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, they all have restrictions. Now, the Firearms Owners Protection Act obviously means that I can transport those firearms from one place that I can use and own the guns to another place that I can use and own the guns. So Virginia to New Hampshire should be fine. But outside of the federal protection for firearms, the lawyers that I've consulted with have also raised the concern about two things. One, there's precedent for arrests to be made even when someone then uses the affirmative defense of Firearms Owners Protection Act. I am protected and I'm transporting the firearms properly, and that means, disassembled, locked in a compartment, in this case in a gun vault, tack vault in the back of the tour truck. But arrests have still been made, and obviously I don't want to get arrested, I don't want the tour truck to get impounded, I don't want my gear to be taken, so I've got that concern. That means I'm going to avoid certain states like New Jersey. If I'm going to pass through New York, which I really have to at some point, there's also a concern about the magazines that are inside of the vehicle normally. And in fact, those magazines are not specifically safe passage protected in the Firearms Owners Protection Act, and that is a concern for my lawyers, my consultants. So what I'm actually going to do today, unfortunately, is pack up those magazines and ship them home to Ohio, which is the next stop on the tour. Meanwhile, lots of good news. We've been doing great classes, great training. Just left a great combat focus shooting class hosted by TEM Tactical Equipment at the Currituck Shooting Range in North Carolina, right on the Virginia border. I had some great classes last weekend in Georgia, and I'm getting ready to head up to New Hampshire to do a course also in Keene at a great range up there. More about that next week. What we did get to do while we were in Georgia was run the first rifle course of the Personal Defense Network training tour, and that means I finally got to break out some of the loaner guns and hand them to students from CMMG. CMMG Manufacturing makes a great gun, and they performed flawlessly. We had one student use the gun through the whole course. We had another one whose gun went down, picked up one of the CMMG guns, and had a great experience.